Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the new XTS tuning system by Hoyt. I'm going to kind of run through how it works, why it works, how to make the adjustments to like broadhead tune and all that good stuff at home. It's a pretty reactive system once you get it set up the right way. I've loved it. I got a bow a little early to take on a whitetail hunt, and I got my field tips and fixed blade broadheads grouping at 100 yards with this system. It works phenomenally. So really excited about it. Hoyt crushed it with this bow. We got an RX10 here that we're going to kind of do a little demo on and show you guys how it works. So Tito was asking us, you know, how does this thing work? We figured might as well throw up the camera and make a video out of it. So Hoyt's got a chart over there. We'll like maybe cut in a picture of it or something so you guys can look at it. But you get your bow, set it all up, get your rest center shot good, shoot it through paper.
When you say set up,
yeah,
comes out of the box.
Yep.
It's not tuned.
Not tuned.
You still need your pro shop to get you a baseline.
Yeah,
right.
There's good chances we're still gonna have to move spacers to get it in the ideal position for this stuff to react the way it should. So yeah, all of these like new tuning systems from whether it's Hoyt, Matthews, Bowtech, Dallin, Obsession, Expedition, pretty much everybody has one now. There's still you still need a bow press. 95% of people don't have a bow press, so that's where a pro shop comes into play. So yeah, it's getting a baseline, you know, get your center shot set. 13/16 is what most people recommend, or most manufacturers recommend. So
this tuning system is something that can complement you after the fact of getting your pro shop, set this thing up top to bottom, tune it to you, fit it to your hand, and then you can go out, whether you're in camp or whether you're at the range and you're wanting to fine tune it based on different things, broadhead tuning, whatever, in field.
Okay. So there still is a macro tune to be done, and that's where your bow shop comes into play, your pro shop. They do a lot of the macro tuning. They should do a lot of the micro too, but things are different. Like a perfect bullet hole doesn't mean perfect broadhead flight, and so that's where the micro tuning out in the field comes into play. So yeah, so you get your bow, get it set up, shoot it through paper, and you know, you might say you're a 3/4 inch knock right. You're gonna want to shift your cams accordingly, move them right a little bit with spacers, and then shoot it again. And if it's an 1/8 inch off, that's where you're gonna come into play with this XTS tuning system. So slightly knock right, what you're gonna do, these screws, I'll pivot this guy so maybe the camera can see it, maybe not. And go just take it out. Okay. So you're going to loosen these set screws here, and they've got a little arrow on them pointing to lines so you can watch how much it moves. So knock right tear, we're going to loosen them, and we're going to put maybe a half twist into this right adjustment screw to begin with, and take a half twist out of the left. The reason for doing half in, half out is you're stiffening a limb, and it's going to increase your poundage. Not by a lot, but the more you do it, the more it'll increase. So if you don't want your poundage to change, do equal in and out. Same thing on the bottom, it's the exact same way. And you kind of want to do a little bit up here, a little bit down here, a little bit up here, a little bit down here, just to keep things even. And it works in reverse the exact same way for left tear. If you're shooting left, you're going to stiffen your left limb. So as you're looking at the bow, stiffen your left limb. So you'd go in and then out of the right, into the bottom left, out of the bottom right. And then the cool thing about this tuning system that is pretty unique to them, and only one other bow manufacturer you can tune this out of a bow, is knock highs and lows. And again, this is micro tuning. If you're shooting an inch knock high, you should probably move your D loop down a little bit, or make sure cam sync's good, or make sure your tiller tune is good. So this is, again, a micro thing, but if you're shooting knock high, you can loosen both top limbs a little bit and tighten both bottom to kind of, you know, it affects the stiffness of the limbs, it affects cam timing just a little bit. It affects a few of these things in a very minute manner to kind of compensate for those. And again, it works in reverse the exact same way. If you're a little bit knock low, tighten these guys, loosen these guys. So, what other questions?
Nothing. Is there any way that you can over compensate in a direction to cause damage to the bow. No. Like if guys get too aggressive with the bow and saying, oh, it's just not doing this, that because their center shot's just off too far or whatever, can they chase it to the point of damage?
As far as like damage, yes, you could. You could strip these out if you try and tighten them too much. It's a really small screw head in there, so be careful with it. But they do have positive stops on both tight and loosening. So you can't back it out too much that your limb's gonna like pop out. You can't tighten it too much that you're gonna crack a limb. But you know, there could be, I don't know, you're not gonna do like any severe damage, but if you're compensating here for something that's wrong here, it's not ideal, but you're not gonna break the bow. So, yeah, it's a great, that's just to reiterate, it's a micro tuning system. You're not gonna get macro adjustments out of this, whether it's right, left, up, or down. And if you think you need to, there's something else wrong with the bow, and you should probably.
But in an ideal situation, you're sitting at camp, you're sitting there shooting, something's off just a fuzz. You can be in camp with set Allen keys and finite tune that to a broadhead as long as you're within a tolerance.
Yeah, if you get up to camp and now your broadheads are hitting 3 inches left of your field tips at 30 yards, you can correct for that knock right tear, stiffen up your right limbs a little bit. It'll move your field tips over. It'll walk them together, and then you got to just bump your sight back a little to correct for it. But yeah, that's where this system comes into play. And just to kind of reiterate, paper tuning is great. It's a great starting point, but you can shoot a perfect bullet hole through paper, and the bow might not like that when it shoots a broadhead. So just because it's tuned perfect through paper in a shop doesn't mean your broadheads are going to fly good. So always double check it. And that's really where this thing shines, is if you are out at the range and it's off, quick little adjustment, walk them together, fix your sight, and it might not shoot perfect through paper, but who cares when it delivers a broadhead and a field tip the same.
Right.
So
sweet.
Yeah, it's a cool system. It works great once you do your macros first. I'm assuming we're going to hear a lot of people complaining that, oh, it's, you know, I couldn't correct a 1/2 inch tear out of it. That's not what this is designed to do, guys. It's a 1/4, 1/8 inch maybe tear that you're trying to fix is where this comes into play. Anything bigger than that, you need to be moving spacers, fixing your knocking height, all those good things to make this be in an optimal spot.
And one of the main things, the only main thing that I really heard you say that we need to be aware of in adjusting those is if you overload one side of the limb versus the other, it can change your poundage. Yep. Is that poundage change drastic?
It's got to be pretty minimal.
Within a pound or two?
Yeah, if you tighten down every screw on here max, I bet you'd go up 2 to 3 pounds.
2 to 3 pounds. So not really enough that's going to affect anybody's sight tapes, grouping, or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty minimal. You know, maybe 5 pounds on the top end is what you'd get if you cranked down everything. But 5 pounds, you know, that's 10 feet per second. That's enough to change stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got your bow set up and you're loving the way it's shooting, in and outs, you know, do equal and opposites to counteract each other. If you do have a 70-pound bow and you want it to get 72, 73, sure, you can crank it up a little bit. I don't work for Hoyt, that's probably not recommended, but if you want to, you probably could. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a sweet bow, it's a sweet system. It makes tuning your broadhead stupid easy, guys.
Mm-hmm. Especially for those fixed blade guys.
Yeah.
I think the Western hunters have really gone over to, you know, going to mechanicals, but I still think there's a handful of guys that really want to just drive things with fixed blade. So I think that's a great tuning system to really just narrow that down.
And, you know, even with bigger expandables these days, like G5 Mega Meat, for example, that's a pretty big expandable broadhead. It's got a lot of blade, and you want to double check it with that. If you're shooting a T2 or a Beast or some super slim profile expandable, probably not going to make a difference, but you should still check just to make sure. And if, you know, if there's a minute difference, that's where these bows shine. Anything with a micro tune system built into the cam or the limbs, it's the way to go. So
awesome.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.